Hello, this is another edition of Z Blog, signing in as once again as Zion Philosopher, and today I want to address something that's in the news right now, and particularly a hot issue with you would say my peers, my fellow peers, my college age um, peers, particularly because they're professors and because uh, they want to join in, be part of a historic movement called the Occupy Wall Street Movement, which happened all across the nations. You got Occupy Atlanta, Occupy Boston, Occupy San Diego, pretty much any city where these college age students they occupy the you have the sit-ins, um, the 60s style protest, and and so what is this? What is this? All right, I'm gonna address that issue because some saying, well, they don't have my real clear message, so I don't know what it's about, or my professor is asking me to participate because it has to do with my future. Well, I'm going to address this issue right here and there. Now, from my perspective, this movement is a pre-stage movement. It's pre-stage, which means it's a bottom-up and a top-down movement. What do you mean? What do I mean by bottom-up and top-down? Well, what I mean is that the ones at the bottom are coordinating the ones at the top, and the ones at the bottom create chaos. Well, the ones at the top seize crack down and seize power. So they're working together. And this has been in the works for many years. I think this has been in the works since the 1960s, believe it or not, because many of those who are in power and those who are in the position of government, and also those who are professors in prestigious universities as Princeton and Harvard, Yale, and all these elite colleges were once themselves college students, radical college students who were protesting. So these colleges have come of age, but they have not changed their views. In other words, they still view America as an imperialist nation and that capitalism as the root of the problem, and the only way to solve this problem is to overthrow it, is to replace it with another system like socialism, where equality should abound, where all the wealth is equally redistributed. So these people, and I believe the people in power, have have created this crisis in which many people are unemployed through spending, through taxation of entrepreneurs and those who have wealth, and regulation. I will not go to detail, but there's incidents after incidents where regulation has stifled business. For example, let's say the stores that the state or federal government requires stores to sell liquor to have a liquor license, and any business who deals with wine and liquor has to have has to file the proper paperwork and do everything according to the state. But that also that same regulation applies to businesses that don't sell liquor, like wine tasting firms. So they don't sell liquor, but they have to apply for business license. And this is just a small, minute detail about regulation makes businesses go through hoops and do file this for paperwork, and what it costs. It's costing the businesses a lot of money to do that. So, and people and these politicians are talking about billionaires or millionaires and billionaires, where some of those quote unquote millionaires and billionaires are people who own small businesses to making $25,000 a year. And the reason why they make $1,000 a year is because they employ people and run a business, and although everything that they get, they invest in the business. So it's not like they're making a huge profit off of it. It's just that they have so much wealth they're circulating in the business. So the federal government is imposing the regulation, and this is one. Even though there has been tax cuts for the quote unquote rich 1%, though, nevertheless, the companies have been unwilling to hire people because they see the many regulations that are imposed upon them, and just to and let me go one step back. The so-called tax cut for the rich, they're only temporal, which means they could change at any moment. So if businesses work, they have to plan like 2 or 5 years ahead. So they can't work on a temporal tax cut. They have to have some stability in order to invest money. So they want to invest money and hire new people. So that's why there's so much unemployment, because businesses are not. If they're gonna see their profits go up in smoke, they're not gonna hire new people. Why should they? No, because poor. If you know anything about accounting, I'm in a major in accounting. You know that payroll is the biggest expense of a business. So, unless there's incentive, unless there's tax breaks, unless there's you cut the red tape and reduce your own spending, because the federal government spending is gonna create uncertainty, because if there's a debt crisis, that means there has to be taxes, spending cuts and revenue. So that means there's going to be taxes in the future, which they are already talking about. There has to be revenue and spending cuts. Well, who created the spending problem? It was the politicians who do that. So these college students who are complaining, oh, that the corporations, they're screwing us, they have all the money and they are not hiring, should go to Washington, should go to Pennsylvania and demand, no, create an environment that's more pro business, so they are able to hire. And honestly, I don't think they're gonna do that, because the other side, you got the government, though, creating a burden on businesses. And before I go on to the next point, these protesters are talking about the corporations. Well, and they're the fact where they're in bed with the government. Yeah, that's part of the reasons why we are in a problem, because in a capitalist system, there's no real customer. There's no favorites. There's no winners or losers. Either you create a business, whether big or small, that will attract the consumer and serve the consumer, please the consumer, or you don't, or either you play fair game and don't cut corners, don't break the rules, or you don't, and if you break the rules, you lose. And a true capitalist system lets those who have broken the rules lose. Those who have made bad business decisions, got into debt. Those who broken the rules, like Lehman Brothers, all these have did their fair share of bad mortgages. But what happened? The government bailed them out. I'm as frustrated with the bailouts as these the so-called Wall Street Occupy protesters. But I know that some of the money that the banks were forced upon them, they were forced either take it or we'll shut you down. No, some of these banks didn't want to take this money. Others did, because they were in collusion with the government. But no, it is when the government is involved that the system becomes corrupt. There's in a true capitalist society, there's no big to fail. The businesses that do wrong will be replaced by the right businesses. Like it's not always fair, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be what benefits everybody, a win-win situation. Now going back now that I taking care of the government part, I'm talking to the protesters, the other side of the coin. These protesters didn't show up just out of the blue. these protests have been organized since the beginning of the Obama administrations. They have been preparing for incidents like this by unions, by leftist group like the Working Families Party, which is run by what's his name? I forgot his name, but I know he's a big socialist. But these groups have been organized by leftist socialist organizations, and they have been preparing. They have been preparing to start a revolution, to overthrow the capitalist system. They have been planning this, and they are the muscle. They are the foot soldiers, which will create chaos. And when rights come and things go out of control, then those who are in power, the federal government, will start enlarging their power and cracking on and abusing and violating civil liberties. And that's the whole point. The whole point is to destroy the free market system as we know it. So, I'm one of those who believe that right now it may not be the best, it might be the most perfect system in place, but it's the best alternative by so far, because capitalism is price driven, meaning like for example, let's say Netflix versus Blockbuster. Netflix just raised their tuition hike. Their prices just had a rise hike, and many of the customers of Netflix went to Blockbuster, and the businesses that provide the best service at the cheapest price wins. And that's a win for the company, and that's a win for the consumer, because the consumer gets what he wants. That's the perfect, I think that's a very good system. And so far, I have not across any other system which works better. If there is, I'm the first one to go to that. But for right now, I don't see any other alternative that is better than capitalism, because socialism, it's good in theory. Everybody shares everything. There's no private ownership. But when it's implemented, its implementation, it becomes corrupt, because it is inherently corrupt. If you give the power, if you take the property, give the power to the state, it by nature will become tyrannical. It will become dictatorial, because that much power can't be given to such a few people without it corrupting them. So, for that reason, I don't think socialism will ever work, because it will always corrupt those who are in charge of managing the wealth. So that's my take on the recent protests. All right. God bless you, and we'll talk about this later.